Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to a Tall Girls podcast hosted by a tall girl named India. I hope you're doing super awesome today. I'm coming back here to you guys with yet another episode of Tall Girl Reacts to Tall Girl Problems. As you can probably tell by the title, where I, a tall girl, I'm 5'10, basically just read out the infamous tall girl problem posts from Tumblr. We all know those back from 2016, 2015, way back when in those days. And I'm just going to give a general reaction to them just to see if these things are something that tall girls, even though I am on the shorter side of the spectrum, if these are things that tall girls actually struggle with. Or is it just some random gibberish that a short old person in a basement put together to make them feel better about themselves? I honestly don't know how we got to that point, but let's just get started. So first one is, no, I'm not a model. Yeah, I definitely feel this. Okay, I feel a story time brewing. So I remember I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I was out with my dad randomly one day. We were just leaving our house. I think we were going to the mall. Yeah, we were going to the mall. And some lady who had actually been watching us from afar when we first came out approached us when we were getting ready to get into the car. So the lady approached my dad actually, but I was with my dad, so technically she approached us. But she was like, "Oh, is this your daughter?" And my dad was like, "Yeah, she is." And she was like, "Oh, she's very tall and very beautiful." And she was just staring at me so creepily, like eyes wide, weird smile. I'm pretty sure you can picture it. I don't want to picture it too much because I'll get creeped out. And then she asked, "Have you ever considered putting her in modeling?" And he started saying no, because back then that's when I was like super into sports. And I thought, oh, modeling is for super girly girls. Like, I don't want to go into that. I like playing sports and all that. I don't know. It's just one of those phases. But that's besides the point. She literally cut him off as he was saying no. And she gave him a card and said, "You totally should." And then she steps back a little. And I guess he got super weird vibes. And he was just like, "Thank you." And literally took my hand and hurried to the car. And I remember looking back at the lady as we were driving off, and she just kept staring at me creepily, eyes wide and smiling. And I was like, ooh, no, that's some stuff that I see in my nightmares. So my dad and I, we were going to the mall. So fast forward, we're at the mall and we were just doing our thing, walking around, looking at some stuff, the huge shopping and whatnot. And I remember I saw the weird lady again. I saw her standing in some corner talking to some other lady, and it seemed like they were whispering or whatever. I don't know, like, the chitter chatter that's like you don't want too many people to hear, you don't really want anybody to know. It was that type of conversation. But I didn't pay any mind because it's like, oh, it's a mall. A lot of people go here. I'm not even surprised. She probably lives around here anyways. She was just going to the mall to meet her friends, whatever. But this is the weird part. A few minutes later, the lady that the first creepy lady was talking to actually came up to me and my dad and was like, "Hey, we're scouting models and your daughter may be a perfect fit for the agency." And literally gave him the exact same card that the first creepy lady gave him. Yeah, that was weird. I was like, what the heck is going on? My dad was like, what the heck is going on? But I guess he didn't want to make that clear because you know what they say, when you get super weird vibes. You don't let them know that you're afraid because they'll have the upper hand. So he was just like nonchalant. But I was like, okay, thank you. Just took the card and walked away, just like the first lady. And let's just say I don't want to say we never went to that mall again, because literally I was just there a couple weeks ago, but we just didn't go there after a while. I guess to take a break, because we don't know if that was some weird human trafficking, kid trafficking, kidnapping service. It was just, the whole operation was weird. I don't know. There's a lot of horror stories going on at that time. Honestly, there's a lot of horror stories going on now, but it was during a time where it was just like, watch your kids, because human trafficking and stuff. I really feel like I am digressing from the actual point. Yes, no, I am not a model. Very much a tall girl problem. I can definitely relate. And I don't know why people just think that only I don't want to say tall women, because it's tall men too. Just tall people in general. I don't understand how they think that tall people are the only models. Like, it's 2021. People of all shapes and heights model. Like, I know that there's a girl like on TikTok who's short. I think she was like 5'2", 5'3", but she's trying to become a model. It's 2021. Anybody can be a model these days. So I feel like we definitely need to get rid of that stigma. But definitely a tall girl problem. Next one. I am not playing footsie with you. My legs just don't fit under the table. Literally. Oh my gosh. I don't even think you guys understand how many people's feet. Oh my gosh. Feet. I meant feet. See, I need to go back to 3rd grade grammar now, because feet, what is that? You guys don't understand how many people's feet I attacked back in the day. Even now, I still attack people's feet now. How many people have I actually attacked with my foot? I don't know, but I've attacked so many people's feet underneath the table. And it wasn't even on purpose. It was an accident. But if I sit with my knees bent, like, 90 degrees? Yes. 3rd grade geometry. But if I sit with my knees bent 90 degrees for too long, and that's usually how you sit when you sit down in a chair, they get cramped very easily. So I have to move them often in order for them to not get cramped. So, I guess it's a long leg problem. But when I stretch them out, I kick people, not even on purpose. So I totally understand that. And that's literally the problem with airplane seats. Like, you can't even stretch out your legs unless you're sitting in an aisle seat, and you can't even do it too often because there's people walking up and down the aisle. There's flight attendants rolling carts up and down the aisle. You don't want them running your feet over with their carts. You don't want people tripping in the middle of a flight. So can you really even stretch out your feet like that in the aisle seat? I feel like it's better than the window seat. That's really all I can say. And that actually brings me to the funniest thing, actually. One of my followers on Instagram, by the way, if you don't follow me, you totally should, at a Tall Girls Podcast. It'll be linked below. One of my followers sent me a photo of her on a plane, and her knees were literally being squished. She even said that the person in front of her, directly in front of her, reclined their seat back, knowing that her knees were being crushed. That was honestly hysterical, but I still feel bad. Like, even after the flight is over, I still feel bad because the pain, it doesn't go away. The pain in the knees might go away, but the pain in the heart doesn't. But I felt really bad for her, even though I was literally laughing behind the screen. But so if you were the one that hit me up about that, I really hope your knees are okay. But yeah, the whole footsie thing and kicking people under, yeah, I feel that. A lot of these desks or tables aren't really tall people friendly, so it can be hard because your knees can't even reach up to the top underneath. Yeah, it can reach up to the table underneath, and it makes it very uncomfortable. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Last one. To the person sitting behind me in class, sorry if the teacher marks you absent. Okay, I feel like this is a little extreme. Yeah, I mean, it may be hard for the person sitting behind us to see over our heads, to see the board. Like, if this was like yeah, sorry if, I don't know, you didn't get the correct answer to the problem down, or sorry you failed the test because you couldn't see the board for the entire semester. I would get that, but I don't think that we're so tall and just take up so much surface area that no one can visibly see in front of us or above us or around us. Like, they would tilt and lean or try to sit straight or sit on books, but I don't think you will entirely cover the person's figure. Like, they could still be seen, they could still be known. I mean, either way, I guess here, I don't know if any other state or any other country does it differently, but either way, the teacher usually calls on the students during attendance. So let's say your name is Martha and the person behind you was Megan. Martha is like 8 feet tall and Megan is like 3'2". I don't even think that's humanly possible, but we're just gonna go with that. And so the teacher is like going down like Bob, Bill, Denise, blah, blah, blah. She gets to Martha. Martha, who's 8 feet tall, is like here. She calls Megan. Megan's 3'2", sitting behind Martha. You can't see Megan because Megan is literally 1/3 of Martha's height. But Megan says here, the teacher doesn't see her, or maybe she just sees her hands, but she heard it here, so she would mark her there for attendance. So, I don't know, I think that's kind of extreme. I mean, I personally never experienced that. Like, I mean, people behind me have a hard time seeing sometimes, but it's not to the point where I'm like covering them completely and the teacher just marks them absent. I mean, I get what they're trying to say. Maybe it's like being sarcastic and stuff, but I don't think, even if you're a whole foot taller than me, like, people, you can still see the person behind you, the teacher, especially if they're standing up. It's just the way that the angle looks. See, I'm bringing back 3rd grade geometry again. Just the way that the angles work and the teacher standing up but you're sitting down, they can see the top of people's heads. Either way, I'm just saying that I get it, but no, I don't really consider that a tall girl type of thing because I don't think anybody is that huge to cover somebody completely. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. I really like this batch. I found them pretty relatable in some way, shape, or form, except maybe the last one. I don't know. But I really like this batch. It was pretty entertaining, and I hope you guys liked it too. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up on my socials at A Tall Girls Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And I really appreciate you coming here and listening to my episode. All my links will be linked below, and I will see you in the next one. Good night and goodbye.